Hello, my name is Central Strong. I haven't been on my podcast for a little while, but I am going to try to make this a weekly thing that I do for this year. I want to say Happy New Year. This is the 15th day of the year. I won't make it sound like that it's literally the first day of the year, but to me, it's still a new year. It's the 15th day. It's a little over 2 weeks, and you still have the chance to make a difference and to make this year count more than the years before or any year before ever in your life. And what I'm trying to get into in this episode is making this year count if you didn't make the last year count. Whatever it is that you wanted to do last year, I highly advise that you take the steps and the precautions to get it done this year. One thing is that typically a lot of people say it's a new year, it's a new me. And if you already feel like you're content with your life, you don't have to change who you are. That's something that you don't have to do. But if you want to improve, there are certain characteristics you might have to change. You don't have to entirely change who you are and what habits you have, and every single thing has to be different. But something might have to give. Something might have to change in order for that to be a reality where you have a happier and more successful life. The biggest thing is to know that society is kind of in a tough spot right now. Not a biggest thing, but a big thing to know is that society is in a tough spot. The economy's tough. A lot of people seem like they're not as happy as they normally are, but that doesn't mean you have to follow the crowd and follow along with society and do what everybody else is doing. I'd rather have a successful life and not fit in at all than have a fit-in life where I'm always getting along with people and people can always relate to me and I'm not where I want to be. And I'm saying that because a lot of times those type of things are distractions, trying to be relatable, trying to be the person that's popular, trying to be the person that gets all the attention or get noticed immediately. And even though that means you're getting liked and that means someone is connecting with you, that is something that you shouldn't always strive for. So the first thing I want to say is don't always try to be relatable. Try to be original. If you want to be relatable, that's fine. But as long as you're not downgrading your assets and the things you have going on for yourself, then that's okay. There's certain things that I try to do now to be more relatable, but at the same time, I know not to change who I am and the values I have in my life by connecting with somebody else and trying to be more, understanding or cool in a sense where someone can literally look at my viewpoint and understand what's going on with my life, and I can understand what's going on with theirs. So those type of things are distractions when you're trying to be the person that everyone likes or everybody can talk to or everyone sees as some type of light. And that's not only a distraction at times, that can also be what hinders you from getting to the next step in life. A lot of people don't see that, especially if they're young. Because they want to do what their friends are doing. They want to be with their friends and do what the peers are doing, or do what the person that's trending on social media is doing, and doing this and doing that to be the person that gets all the attention they think that would lead to some type of success. But in reality, if you're doing drugs to get to that level, if you're breaking hearts to get to that level, if you're downgrading your family or those who you actually care about or those who care about you to get to that level, then you might want to stop. You should never hurt someone else or hurt something that isn't hurting you or someone that's not hurting you to get to a level of life that you want to be. Because at the end of the day, it's going to backfire. And it's going to backfire when you don't expect it to. And it's going to be a huge mistake that you wish you never, ever, ever did. So that's the first thing. The second thing is just, I'm just going to get into 3. I'm not going to try to make a whole list. I'm not going to try to make the podcast too long. But the third thing is to always look at your habits. Little things like taking vitamins daily, drinking water daily, exercising, whether it's a 30-minute walk, a 15-minute walk, a mile run, 3-mile run, go to the gym for 30 minutes, running, jogging, and things like that, things you could do on a treadmill or even outside in your front yard, or if you can't do it and it's just like you're living in a big city, maybe biking or just going for a casual walk. Those things can literally make you more successful. Those things will make you better, like those habits. And one thing I'm doing this year is taking herbs daily. I take 4 to 5 herbs a day, I believe. Well, I don't believe I take 4 or 5 herbs a day. And I've been doing that since, I want to say, the 4th day of the year, 5th day of the year, and it's been helping me tremendously. I've noticed a difference now. Like, it's only been a couple of weeks, pretty much, and I already feel more energetic. My lungs, I have asthma, and my lungs feel a lot stronger, and I feel like my mind is more concentrated and everything. And these are herbs. Like, this is not a drug. This is not a legal product or something like that. They're literally things you can buy on an app called iHerb.com. Not iHerb.com, but iHerb. It's an app you can download on your phone. And literally, these herbs, they're not going to happen immediately. I'm going to tell you that much. But if you keep taking them persistently, you will notice their improvement. I promise. Sooner or later, you'll notice an improvement in something. So habits, exercise, diet. Another habit is your mind, the way you view things, your attitude. Your attitude can literally get you so far in life. If you have a good attitude on a normal day, it would literally push your life forward. If you wake up with an attitude that you would try your best and do the best you can, even when you know you're not exactly where you're going to be in life, and you do whatever you can to get to that next level, whether that's doing another couple of nights of research on your homework to make up this amazing project, whether it's just extra 30 minutes to an hour of a time that you spent somewhere in your day applying for another job or looking for other jobs. It's just if you're not satisfied with the jobs you already have, or rather it's something like talking to that person that you had an issue with that you've been holding on to for so long and it's been lingering in your mind, and just opening up to that person instead of just cutting them off and never speaking to them again. Yet you're thinking about them all the time, or you're thinking about them here and there. Those habits will literally help your life more than you know. It sounds simple. It sounds like they're tiny little things, but those little things will help you tremendously. Like it would be like magic. The weight you have in your chest, holding something against somebody and just talking to them, it will help. And you're not weak. You're not soft to bring up the past. If it's something that's really hurting you and you never had a chance to express yourself, you should do it now. Habits like that, reading a book or reading pages of the book, reading articles, researching in your free time, going outside and having fresh air. Little habits like these things. And it may not even look that big. They may not even seem that much of an achievement, but little habits like that will literally help you become more successful in so many ways. More sleep. Sleep will make you more successful too. You might have to sacrifice a couple things that you don't really need that you like to do. Maybe 1 or 2 things to get a couple more hours of sleep. But it will literally make you a better person. It will help your lungs breathe better. It will help your mind function better. It will help pains and back aches and stuff like that. More sleep will literally do things like that. It will make your heart stronger, believe it or not. And it will just help your organs all together, like more sleep. These habits are things that will literally make a person better and more successful in so many ways. The third thing that I want to jump into is, and this is the final advice I'm going to give to make this year count, that will make this year more of a reasonable and more of a meaningful year than the previous years. If you feel like you have to do something to make this year better than the last one, or the last ones before the last one, is choose love. A lot of times in society, we react in things that we don't like, react towards things we don't like with hatred, with violence, with just complete ignorance. Choose love. Literally, before you react to something, understand why it's probably happening and probably react to what can you do to make it stop, more so what you can do to get the instant pleasure of getting someone back. We're human beings. We're going to sin. We're going to make mistakes. And I'm not telling you to do this every single time something pops off, but try to make it in a practice that if someone say or do something that's wrong, you can confront them. You can do something back, but also understand before you even do those things, maybe see why someone said or done something. And if someone's just being a jerk and being a complete, utter difficult person, then yes, put them in their place, because you're not doing anything for them to be that way. But if it's something you done and someone's just doing something back or saying something to you, it may come off as kind of disrespectful or kind of weird or uncomfortable, maybe you should pause and see why that's being done or said. We're not perfect. I'm not telling you to do this every time. No one can do it every time. But the more you do it, the better off you'll be, and the more it'll be natural, where you don't have to force yourself to do these type of things. Prime example, if someone, let's just say you're waiting in line in Walmart, and you just notice that there's 3 people in front of you, and the person that's in the very front moves up. And then the person that's like in the middle of the 3 people that's in front of you, they stay. And then the person that's in front of you, like the third one, just moves to go to a different line. And instead of just saying something like, yo, move, watch out, or pushing somebody out the way, or like yelling at them, all you really can do is be like, walk up to the person and tell them, hey, or not tell them, but ask them, are you going to go, or can I get in front of you? Are you going to do something? Is there a reason why it seems like that you're still waiting to go in line and get your items checked out? And let's just say this is a self-checkout aisle where you typically just go out and you get your items checked out by yourself. You don't need someone to scan your food or whatever it is that you're buying. You do it all on your own. And instead of just like yelling at the person and being extremely impatient, you could literally just say, hey, is there a reason why you're still waiting? I don't want to cut you, but I just noticed that you're still standing here instead of getting to one in the lines, not one in the lines, but going to one of the checkout machines and checking your food out or checking whatever it is that person has. Those type of things. I know that seems like you're going the extra mile, but going the extra mile will literally push you further in life 100 miles. That extra thing could be helpful. Because I know sometimes the normal reaction would be, let me just cut this person. Let me just go around and get my food checked out. Yes, that would probably make sense sometimes, but we don't really. For all we know, the person can probably just be looking in their cart to see if they got everything. For all we know, the person can really just be thinking about something else to go, like going back to one of the other food aisles to get some more items. And instead of just saying, hey, is there a reason why you're standing waiting here? Most of the time, we probably just cut the person and go and get our stuff done. And honestly, in a way, that is justable because it's self-checkout or something like that. And it's not like someone's in front of that person right now or at that moment waiting, and they're waiting too just behind them. And little things like that